Welcome to Scanny TV on YouTube once again. Let's listen to the latest updates coming in from the camp of Black Stars team, Black Stars players, Ghana Football Association, and some few other interesting updates we need to know. In this one, the Black Stars team, we have 2 matches to play. Next month, on the 17th, we are going to host Chad in Ghana here. After that, we'll travel and play against Comoros. And injuries has been one on the top of the list. Anytime call-up is about to be released. Today, we have one player who is injured, and we will talk a little bit about him. We will also listen to the Black Stars team doctor. He has spoken at length concerning Black Stars players' injuries. We know, as we know, the last call-up, we had about 8 players who actually missed out on that particular call-up due to their injuries. And according to him, all those players who were injured, each of them was really genuine, except one who said that he was not feeling well. He spoke about all these ones and also spoke about one Black Stars player who came to play a match and unfortunately picked up an injury. For 8 months, he lost his position and he has been loaned out. I know you know the player we are talking about here. He spoke about all those ones. We will check it out in this update. We also look at GFA, what is going on. As we know, one staunch Kotoko fan, that is Nana Poli, who was stabbed last weekend, has actually taken over Ghana football now. And I think this is the best time to make reforms and take the good decisions. We will check the updates coming in from that particular killing, because I understand one lady has been arrested today, and we will also check it out together with a lot of updates coming in from some Black Stars players' performances. Thomas Partey, Zigi, and you know, a lot. We will talk about all of them in this update. If you have joined me, take your time as you do always. Please like first. After that, if you are new, subscribe to this channel, put us on post notification so that I drop latest updates, you'll be the first person to be notified, and also enjoy the updates on this channel. After watching the video, try and share so that others will also come here and enjoy the latest updates on this channel. Thank you guys for doing that. Let me give you guys the quick ones. You know how we do it. Let me start from here. Alexander Jiku, unfortunate, he's picked up another injury. We know Jiku, he's been having injury problems, you know, sometimes on his muzzle. And yesterday he played for Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce, they won at home comfortably, 5-0. And unfortunately, the player picked up an injury playing in that particular game for his side. So for now, he's going to be out up to 2 weeks. Yes, Jiku is going to be out up to 2 weeks. Yesterday, his side Fenerbahce, they won 5-0 against Ezurspor. Yes, in the Turkey Kupasi Group B round 2 game. They were at home and everything went well for them. But the player could not actually end the game. He was substituted on the 55th minute for Diego Carlos to come and continue the game. So I'll share a picture on the screen for you. When the player actually picked up that injury, he was just, you know, on the pitch, and it was not looking good at all. He was using the left hand to hold his thigh. So, according to reports coming in today from Turkey, Jiku is going to be out up to 2 weeks, and he came to his official X account and he posted, you know, his picture, and he added soon. Then he also added the colors of his clubs over there. So it means that very soon he'll be back. And for 2 weeks, I think we are going to be fortunate because the World Cup qualifiers is in March. So by 2 weeks, by the end of this month, we expect him to be back so he can feature for Ghana in next month's fixtures. So that is that. We will come back to the Black Stars injuries again. But let me actually talk a little bit about one of our legends. That is talking of Christian Achu Trasam. Yes, today is exactly 2 years that the player actually passed away in that particular Turkey earthquake that actually happened. And it is a sad one. He did very well for Ghana. Today I've seen Chelsea. They've posted him. I've also seen Newcastle. They have also posted Achu. And Achu needs to be celebrated. I've also posted him on our channel's community Black Stars page. They have also posted him. So we need to remember him because he did very well for humanity. And Christian Achu, may your soul continue to rest in peace. You forever remain in our hearts. So that is that. Let me move on and talk a little bit about Thomas Partey. Partey's contracts is now being discussed by Arsenal. Arsenal want him to stay after showing very, very good performances for the club. For now, he's made 151 appearances for Arsenal. Partey has contributed to 15 goals, scoring 8 out of that and providing 7 assists since he joined Arsenal from Atletico Madrid, and his contract was always in the news because many felt he will not renew the contract. But right now, Arsenal have seen that Partey, his fitness level is up there. He's playing so well, even though his side lost yesterday. But still, they have begun talks with Partey to renew his contract. So that is also a piece of good news. We will still follow that and bring you guys more updates on this channel. I'll come back to Partey, but let me speak a little bit on the death of Pole, or Nana Pole, as a lot of Kotoko fans will refer to him. In connection to his stabbing, for now we have a total number of 6 arrests, done by the police, and it is a good one. One lady who was trending everywhere was Akosua Black China. That is the name she's being called, and she is one person that a lot of the eyewitnesses are pointing fingers at, that she was part of those who orchestrated for the stabbing of that Kodoko fan. So as even the IGP was speaking, that is Dr. Kufu Dampari, he said, yes, there's one lady called Akosua China that they are actually looking for her. So this morning, I understand, hurriedly, she woke up, went to police station with her lawyer. So right now, they are there. And I understand that the police also told her that you can't just go like that. We are processing you for court. So for now, they've handcuffed her and they've put in her behind bars. So they are now processing her for court. So if she will get a bail, court will have to give her the bail. As I've already brought you guys updates, out of the 6, 2 of them who have been given bail, that is Honorable Ignatius Bafuewa. He was given a bail of 500,000 Ghana cedis, and he was also restricted not to travel, so all those things are going on. And the police, they are still working hand in hand with Ghana Football Association, the clubs, and everyone who matters on that particular killing of Nana Pole. Today, the GFA also met with the club officials in Ghana here, yet at their secretariat, and they've spoken a lot about this particular one. For now, Kotoko also released a statement. It was a joint statement from Kotoko and Accra Folk. They released a statement concerning what is happening in Ghana football. Right now, the 2 clubs, they need to set up. They need to make sure that they will take Ghana football into their hands. Because if you are playing Ghana Premier League without Haas and Kotoko, it is going to be impossible. So Kotoko and Haas, you must act. You must make sure that you dictate the pace for the other clubs to follow, but not you sitting idle and be watching the other clubs to do whatever that they want. Because Ghana Football Association is not even older than you clubs. So Haas Folk and Kotoko, you have taken a right direction or a right step. Yes, and I feel you should stand on your toes. Make sure you demand very well for Ghana football. There should be good sponsorship. The league should also not be under, the leaders of Ghana football. No, you should play a league that will be run independently and a whole lot of things. So that is just coming in from Nana Pole's sad demise. Let me move away from that and talk about some few ones. Before we listen to Dr. Prince Pambo, yesterday, this is also the quick performances from Black Stars players. I will not waste time on that. Partey featured for Arsenal. Unfortunately, his side, they lost 2-0 away against Newcastle. Newcastle has done a 2 over Arsenal in that particular EFL semi-final game. It was just, home and away. For the first match at home in Emirates, Newcastle went away to win 2-0. Yesterday, they also came to their home ground and won 2-0. So it was 4-0 aggregate against Arsenal. Partey featured, but things did not really go as expected for the Black Stars players. After 90 minutes, Thomas Partey, he was actually rated 6.7. After, 90 minutes? 78 minutes. Partey was rated 6.7. And had touches of 60, completing 45 passes out of 52 attempts, which is 87%. Did some few things in the midfield for his side, Arsenal, before Jorginho came to replace him. We also have Zigi, who was in action for his side. St. Gallen, they were at home and they won 2-1 against FC Lugano. And Zigi, after conceding 1 goal, he was rated 7.1. After 90 minutes, 2 saves from him. All the saves were inside the box, had 1 high claim, 33 touches. Zigi actually completed 22 passes out of 27, which is 81%. For a goalkeeper to complete that number of passes is amazing, Then long balls, he sent 11. He also got 6 right. Then did some few other stuff for his side. Let me also talk a little bit about Osman Bukari. Yesterday, he also scored a goal for his side. Elegalazi, they played in a friendly match against, Austin. It was his side, Austin. They played against Elegalazi. Elegalazi, they are the current champions of the MLS. So they played a friendly match. And Osman Bukari, he came on the 46th minute and he scored on the 79th minute for his side. So this is just a friendly match in the MLS preseason. So that is that. A lot will be playing and I'll bring you guys more updates going forward. Finally, let's check out Dr. Prince Pambo. He is the Black Stars team doctor and he has also spoken today on Sporty FM with Mr. Fifi Bansen. Yes, and it was a great conversation. I really enjoyed and learned a lot about players' injuries and everything concerning the health of the players. He spoke about Black Stars team and he actually revealed that for the last call-up, about all the 8 players who were not able to represent Ghana because of their injuries, the injuries were genuine. They can never fake those injuries. So he spoke about it, also spoke about players who have actually gotten injured. Then he also spoke a little bit on Daniel Kofi because he cannot actually review. In fact, Kofi has been out for 2 years. For 2 years. I think we have just about 7 days. Then it will be exactly 2 years that the player played football. And it is sad because I quite remember the last time he played is around February 13th, 2023. And we are now in 2025. So it is not good. Let's actually listen to everything that happened and I'll bring you guys more updates on this channel as well as shout out in the subsequent updates.
Things like that, when you are very close to the team. Do you feel that there's, because at one point we heard Keto Kreko talk about lack of energy and all of that for the team. Do you think that they lack that energy?
No.
They don't?
No. They have never, I've been around the Black Stars
for quite a while.
For some time.
Yeah.
Anyway, people think I've been the team doctor for a long time, but not necessarily. I've been around it, offering a lot of support, but not the lead doctor. I became the lead doctor just from 2022, okay, prior to World Cup. The Black Stars I have worked with, they've never been low in energy when it comes to fitness. Now, the kind of energy I believe the president referred to will be mental energy, okay? Not the energy to do things on the pitch of play, not the energy to be able to last 120 minutes, okay? But the energy to make an impact within 2 minutes, okay, was what he was referring to. And if you go through that list, you now see that there is a clinical psychologist coming on board the team. So when it comes to their fit, I mean, these guys who come to play are starting 11 players for most of the clubs they are coming from. Okay.
How does this affect them? I mean, truly, you've been with the team for a while. When players arrive to come and play for their national teams, they might have played on a Sunday.
That's right.
Sunday in Europe. And now they've got to fly. Some of them are lucky enough not to fly long distances. So London, Accra, 6 hours max, unless you're coming from...
And it's business anyway.
Yes, business. So it's a bit more relaxing. Unless you're coming from US where you do 9-10 hours business, but yet you are... When they arrive on a Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, their first training session is on a Wednesday. They have a game on a Sunday. Within those 3 days, are they able to recover before their next game? Considering the fact that jet lag, this and all of that inclusive, are they able to recover before their game on Sunday?
Absolutely. So a lot of work normally will go into preparations for any typical Black Star game. Before the coach is making his call up, he knows each player's schedule. He knows when each player is going to play his or her last game. He gives me this list and I start my engagement with the players and their club doctors. And our fitness coaches will also start similar engagements, okay? So if a player is doing a Friday evening game or a Saturday afternoon game and is going to fly in with a Sunday evening flight, and we're probably going to be receiving that player Sunday evening or Monday morning. They are coming in. We already have their GPS data from the game they just played. We already have their training schedule from their clubs. Okay, mind you, this will not be the first time you are receiving such a player. So, for instance, if Thomas Brandon is coming, if Tarek is coming, if Jordan is coming, all right, Jordan, Tarek, Antoine, they have come in and out many times. So you know, and you have a fair idea what duration, what timing this player needs to recover from whatever stresses he was exposed to. So Bournemouth or Leicester City would have already sent their training schedule to us. So they come in, so they are arriving Monday. If Monday evening, okay, we have to go on the pitch, these players will just come with us, wear their sneakers, okay, just be part of the team, walk around the pitch. Because mind you, if you play a game today, and tomorrow you don't do recovery training, you'll be more fatigued. So you need to go and probably loosen up the muscles. So when they come, their first training session, post 24 hours after they have played competitive game, it's a recovery session we do for them, which is actually therapeutic.
Right.
And the GPS will tell us what level you should push them. So it hasn't been a problem. Again, the bigger picture, like you said, is they are receiving appropriate salaries for this kind of stress that is on them, and I think they're up to it.
Well, I understand that Black Stars player Daniel Kofichre had an ACL injury this year, and it's been 8 months already. It's normal?
Kofichre, I do not think I have his permission to discuss details of his injuries, but if you remember, the last time you saw Kofichre with the national team, it's been long. It's probably almost 3 years. Okay, and he's been very unfortunate with injuries. I mean, he's had ligament problems, came back to play after game 2-3, he goes down with other injuries. Initial ones were failure in repairs, and then it goes back to theater, and then Kofi has been very unfortunate with. Are there
times that during the surgeries you guys get it wrong?
So I wouldn't say every surgery is always 100% right, but Fifi, what I can assure you, when you are dealing with a knee that is worth £200,000 sterling a week, you can't afford to make mistakes. So it's rare. It's not like the general surgeries where you can go do anything and anything happens. If you're a doctor with the MBA and you are working on LeBron, you're not permitted to make mistakes. I mean, not to brag, okay? If you are a doctor and you want to subject your practice to public scrutiny, it's not the consulting room one, kind of thing. You come on the pitch, the player is down, you are going there, the stadium is 80,000 capacity, everybody's watching you. There are several millions of people watching on TV, including the professors who trained you, including the mother, the wife, the daughter of that player, including the player's own doctors. If it's a club side, they are watching you, the national team, and you get there, nothing tells you to make a mistake. So what we do, it's not child's play. Okay, I'm not saying we 100%, but like I said, so where things can go wrong can be very natural. Okay, you harvest a tissue. For instance, if you are constructing a cruciate ligament, you probably go to some part of the body and harvest a ligament and come to want to do a repair, XYZ. I mean, it could just happen that the tissue itself will fail. Okay, it could also just happen that you return the person back to play today, and tomorrow the same injury mechanism meets the person. Those are life and its challenges.
Is there any particular, let's say, Black Star player or a player you have worked with whose injury saddened you the most?
The one that saddened me, there are two of them. One played on an AstroTurf. and he had resisted. He had his fears playing on the AstroTurf. He felt the team did not have prior information that they were going to play on an AstroTurf. He was not mentally there. He went in and tore his Achilles tendon. And that took him out for like 8 months. That cost him his position in his team. He was a starting 11. As I speak to you today, he's being loaned out. It's a player, and he had come to play that game with his wife. I remember this so well. Another one was a young player who had what I thought was a simple meniscus injury, which probably would take him, some 2 months maximum, and had some kind of intervention. Okay, but on my side, the kind of intervention I recommended for him, per what his managers or his people had to pay, so this is a local matter I'm talking about, thought they could go for a cheaper option. And I literally watched one of our most promising wingers in this country end his career before 20 years on paper.
Which player was that?
There's a player called Paul Asari, if you remember him. He played Wild All-Stars those days and played under 17, I think, at that point. For me, he was probably one of our promising wingers. He later tried to manage things, but I knew with what had happened, okay, part of the meniscus, the part of the meniscus was gone, and it was going to predispose him to having things like osteoarthritis. Gradually, he pushed, but then, and I was sad because partially I was involved in a way with his treatment. It's just that what I thought should have been done for him, money or the lack of it, or probably the lack of desire to invest that much wasn't there, and it was a bit of a challenge. Maybe at the time everybody thought, oh, he's a young boy, this particular intervention would just be fine, he will be able to manage it. Unfortunately, it flipped to the red.
Of the various clubs sometimes.
Yes.
You get conflicts from them.
Yes.
I remember in recent history, Thomas Partey got injured. He was supposed to come. You guys asked him to come to town.
That's right.
And then check him out. And then his team doctor said no. He wouldn't like him to fly all over to Ghana for just a test. So rather, he would want to abstain. You guys, how do you manage those conflicts with the team's doctors?
So when it comes to managing those professional conflicts, fortunately, you, the doctor like myself, you do not even come in to manage it, because at the end of the day, it's the FA that will normally send the invite to the sporting director of the clubs, and it's the FA would have to engage with the club to convince them to let the player come. The latest is the fact that the clubs own the players. Okay, so if the clubs come out and say that, no, we feel it's a risk letting him come, then it's going to be a problem. Sometimes when I receive communications from the team doctors, you realize, they are very fine in their communications. And as a professional myself, you are able to tell that this is what they are trying to communicate. Most of them would actually also ask the player that, okay, your country would want you to come in and do this for them. Are you happy to do that? If the player at that point says that, no, I'm okay, I would just want to be here, they will communicate that to you. And sometimes in their communications, they will probably let you know that I have the permission of player ABC to inform you that he would rather be comfortable doing X, Y, Z without going through this. So those are normally very fine communication. We never go into a banter.
But do they trust you enough? Do they trust
100%.
They trust you?
Yes, 100%. So most of these club doctors are doctors. Some of them I trained with them. Okay, so you meet at the World Cup and it's, okay, so one of your mates doing training in Nottingham, okay, is the one doing Liverpool, is the one doing Chelsea. So, and then we've met on a lot of sports medicine conferences. So the specialty sports medicine and my subspecialty sports cardiology. I mean, we are not many. It's not a very old specialty in a medical practice. So those in it are not even many. It's so if they are doing isokinetic conference in London, okay, every sports physician who matter, you'll be there. Right. Okay, so you meet them, and when you meet at those platforms, they trust you. I do a lot of works in academia. I publish. Okay, so you do not have the right or the basis to not trust me when you can visit my website and read my publications on research I have done that you haven't done. You know what I mean? So they don't have that permission to disrespect. And then also when the players come and they go back to their clubs, you need to write a report on every player you have seen, okay, back to the clubs. And the way you communicate with them, the feedback the players will take to them would probably be what would trigger them to either respect or not respect. Okay. You know what I mean? I mean, you come with your country and I'm the FIFA doping control or the FIFA medical venue doctor overseeing your game. And the next moment you're seeing me with my national team, and because it's Ghana and you probably doing Switzerland, you can't. No, it doesn't happen.
Okay. Well, before we let you go off, I mean, what should we expect from your new medical team for the Black Stars? I mean, you and Edward Abibio and Samuel Ankoma and all the guys who are working with you to ensure the Black Stars success. What expectations should we have of you?
Fifi, I wouldn't promise anything than what you've already seen with the medical team. I'm not taking the medical team out to praise the medical team. But this same medical team you just mentioned, they've been my medical team for some time. So there's been a lot of change, and I'm sure the changes came with assessing what people did and to see what people are able to bring on the table. So the same SK, the same Edward, they have been with me for probably like 1 year. So the assurance we want to give Ghanaians would be that whatever we were doing, we're just going to continue. So I can boldly say proudly that the past 2-3 years, we've not had medical controversies within the national team, okay? We've had setbacks, okay, which are natural causes. The coach calls up players. I think the last call up, we had like 8 players unable to come because of injuries. And I know Ghanaians really thought some people fake injuries.
Some of them were fake.
Before you and your consult today, I'll tell you, every single player who couldn't come
was truly injured.
None of them faked it. Okay, one person said I was sick. It wasn't an injury. When a player says I'm sick, you can't force him. Okay, so that aside, every one of them.
It was as if they had lost interest in the qualification because they knew they were going to qualify anyway.
Every one of them, we deal with their doctors and tell you. So where the argument can come in is that, okay, were they severe enough to just keep them from coming at all?
Can they sometimes conspire with their doctors out there? Because sometimes the doctors don't even want them to come in the first place.
No.
So they don't conspire with them.
No. Is it as a doctor, it's difficult that the player doesn't have the injury and the whole doctor would say that because the club doesn't want the player to go. So as the doctor, I would put pen on paper.
Sometimes the doctor will tell you, they'll tell you the player is injured. On a Sunday, he can't play, he's injured. On a Tuesday, you see him playing. So you sit back and feel that, this guy, they said he was injured. He couldn't come and play for the Black Stars.
Right.
But on Tuesday, he's playing for his team.
Yes.
You know.
So when they say players are injured, okay, the first thing with Otto, what I'll tell the club is, can we, and they normally would just not communicate, like they will send you MRIs. Okay, so I told you of a typical hamstring injury. Okay, so the Sunday game, somebody ran into, let's say, Antoine, okay, and hit the back of his thigh hamstring. There's contusion, okay. Antoine is expected to probably travel. He plays Saturday, so he's probably expected to travel Sunday morning and probably get to Accra 8 p.m. Okay, Sunday, and then do recoveries. Now, if he sustains the injury during their Saturday game evening, okay, the next time they can investigate him is going to be what? Sunday morning. That is when you are expecting him to travel to Ghana. Okay, then they go do an MRI for him in London. Okay, and they say he has a hamstring contusion. Okay, with hamstring contusion, he's going to sit in the plane. He's going to sit on that one. Okay, so traveling that Sunday, okay, it's not going to be possible for him. Meaning, probably the earliest he'll be able to travel will be a Tuesday. Okay, your game is probably the next. So obviously, now if he's traveling Tuesday and he's going to get to Accra, okay, Tuesday evening, and your game is a Thursday, per the calculations, then the coach, we will agree that, okay, we are only going to get him to do recovery on Wednesday, and then Thursday, he can't play. Okay, then you weigh the options. Okay, do you send a ticket to this player to come only to sit on the bench? No. If there are 2 games and there's one the following weekend, he will come, he will miss first game and play the next. If it's just 1 game, he misses it. Okay, and they go back to their club, like you said, they'll play. Okay, we've had several of those examples, and we always demand that the doctors will not just communicate there's an injury. There have been some where they say that the player has had this particular injury for some time, and we were managing it, making him play small. But this international window, we want to use this international window
to assess him properly.
So they are not telling you he's injured, he can't play. Okay, but they are only saying as their property, if they don't use that window to take care of him, they will lose him and Ghana will lose him. Okay, it happened to, I think, 1 or 2 players during this time. And it was a conversation.